is there a situation, and I know the answer to this is yes. So
Mm.
pick something that's
Mhm.
not overwhelming,
Mhm.
you know, and then
Mm.
something that's annoyance, a stumbling block, but not a horrific thing.
Okay.
Okay, where
Mhm.
an emotion
Mm.
either uh, keeps you from doing something effectively or
Mhm.
stops you from doing it altogether. And by
Mm.
doing, I mean do, think, feel, believe, any of those, where there's an emotion that
Mm.
blocks you from that.
Mhm. It's sitting right in front of me, right here on the floor. It's all these papers and envelopes I haven't opened,
Ah,
mail I haven't opened.
okay. Could you
Perfect.
adjust your camera so it points, so top
Do
of your
I
head
have
is
to?
included in the picture?
Do I have to, Bruce? Do I have to? All right. Yeah, just a second.
Oh, no, you don't need to show me the stacks of papers. I just wanted to get the top of your head in the picture.
Oh,
Because right now
oh,
your
I see.
face is cut off
I see. I see. I
right
see.
in mid eyes or below.
Yeah.
There, that's
Yeah. Yeah. I had just started to try to tackle some of this stuff
right.
out
Okay.
of duress today. Not over. Well, this is the kind of thing. It's not the kind of overwhelming sense I have at the bar, but this is like a kind of a heavier day to day emotional
Right. Okay.
thing.
Great.
Yeah. No.
Can you what word do you use to describe the emotion that you're feeling?
Hmm. Um,
The one that gets in the way.
one that gets in the way of doing it, right? Of
Yeah.
doing what I need to do. Um, avoidance, but do you mean
That's
emotion?
not an emotion.
Emotion.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, right. So uh, despair.
Despair.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Like a very real, but kind of like a cute little despair, like a little despair. There's
okay.
probably a French word for that.
Okay. Right. And for this, it's just so that we have a mutually agreed on word to talk about the name of this thing.
Yeah, it's not like how I feel about nuclear war or my daughter's
Yeah.
future, but it's the day to day kind of like I can't get through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Despair.
Okay. Okay. So here's what we're going to do.
Do you
I'm gonna
mind if I listen to you? Do I have to? Can I do that while you talk? Drink.
Yeah, as
Okay,
long as you can hear me.
I can.
So what we're going to do is to have you bring up that emotion,
Yeah.
and I'm going to ask you some questions about the sensations that make up that emotion.
Yeah.
Bring up that emotion,
Okay.
step into it, really feel it,
Oh
be
yeah.
there.
Pretty easy.
Okay. And where in your body is that emotion the strongest? Is the sensation the strongest?
I wonder if I shouldn't not sit down while I do this a little bit, because it's a very particular mindset or feeling I get into when I sit at this desk. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I'm wondering if that
if
would
it'll
free me
help
up.
you feel the emotion.
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
try that. All right, I'll move that. I'll move it so I'm standing up over here. This is
okay.
going to go
Sure.
black for seconds.
Okay. Can you back up or
Yeah,
change the
yeah,
camera
maybe
so I can
I'll
see
go
your
back.
face?
I'll go back.
Okay. Okay. Now, tell me about what you were feeling in your body as you experienced that emotion.
Yeah, I I totally understand this because I've read about it and I've heard people talk about it, and I probably, of course, I experienced this sort of things, but I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything in my body. I don't. I just feel like in my mind, my ego, I just feel, ugh, that's
Okay.
honestly, that's really
Now,
honest.
when I mirror what you were doing as you were going through those envelopes,
Hmm.
I feel a kind of compression from right here, just below the little notch in my throat,
Mm,
down to uh, I guess the level that my heart would be at, but it's center line, and it's like clenching.
hmm,
I could feel it squeezing.
mm,
It's like, oh,
hmm,
ugh.
hmm.
The kind of thing that it's actually somewhat similar to what I would feel if I swallowed something rather distasteful,
Mm,
like a ugh,
hmm. Yeah, in your esophagus. Yeah,
right.
yeah. And I guess there's a little bit of fear in there, in this despair.
Sure,
There's like a
sure.
little bit of,
Well, what
and the
would,
fear has a little bit cortisol feeling in it,
uh-huh. And
like a little bit of
where
nervous
do
in my
you,
body,
okay,
my arms,
now,
and
yeah,
chest.
those are intellectual labels and
Yeah, but
analysis. So where do you feel sensations
uh,
that let you know those things are true? I'm not disputing at all the truth value of what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. I guess in some of those labels they suggest, yeah, and there's no reason why you would necessarily feel that, I suppose, um, but yeah. So I guess the cortisol, meaning like it's a racing, it's a like excitement or adrenaline. It's like you feel it in your limbs and my torso. I mean, it's very, very mild, but
Okay,
it's just a tiny bit of like
a tingly clenching.
a tingle. It's like a quick surge. It's more like a between a tingle and a surge, mild,
Okay,
just like whoop, maybe going up, maybe a sense of going up.
okay,
You know,
good, good. Okay. So you
yeah.
feel a little bit of upward movement,
Yeah, but
not real strong.
yeah, and kind of like if you saw on a chart, you get these arrows that go like that.
Right.
It's
Okay.
not just, it's not up like this. It's just like what inside.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
But at the same time, there's just not a sense of movement, and also just that same feeling, but just kind of a presence in my arms.
All right.
Maybe not in my legs too, but again, it's because I'm sitting on my sits bones.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
kind of present in my mind all the time. Which is regardless of what's going on. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Um, all right. So are you aware of anything else? feel the envelopes in your hand. See them as you sort through them.
Right, as I walk by them for the 1000th
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Nervousness, you know, like again, here, like my stomach up to my chest.
Okay.
Also in my arms again. So
All right. All right. So there's a
Yeah.
pattern here of a movement that's upward near your center core and
Mm.
might be downward further away from your center core.
yeah,
Okay. And that, depending on circumstances, it might be low in your belly or high in your chest. And there's also an awareness, at least in your lower arms.
mm,
Okay.
mhm,
Now, I'm going to ask you some questions that may sound weird.
mm.
And if they're too weird, just say, no, don't have an answer.
Probably won't be.
Um, if this sensation had a color, what color?
I had to call it. Sorry.
Color.
Yeah.
What color would it be? If it had one.
Hmm.
And sometimes it won't have one.
I don't really feel. I mean, I definitely don't feel that as a color.
Okay.
I'm a little worried that I would start to be actually intellectual if I start to imagine this or that, but I don't feel it with a color.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Where, as you think about the sensation, as you make yourself more aware of the sensation, sensations are never uniform. Where is the sensation the most intense?
Probably my breathing, my chest, my lungs.
Okay, so your chest, center of your chest, and a couple of inches in.
Yeah, and that's fine if that's accurate, but I would first say my lungs, only because we know what else exists in that area too, and that comes with such semantic weight. The heart,
Yeah.
and it's really a breathing thing. It's really like
Okay. Okay.
yeah, it's because like I have low blood pressure, and I know friends and family and people with high blood pressure, and I know what it is for they're feeling that heart rate to go up, and
Yeah.
I don't really experience that very much, but I do feel this like more not as expansive lung,
Right.
a
Right.
little clenched,
That
a little clenched.
that usually comes from increased tension in the intercostal muscles, the muscles between your rib
Yeah.
bones.
Yeah.
And it can also come from increased muscle tone or tension in the diaphragm.
Mm-hmm. Feels a little more like diaphragm to me than intercostal.
Okay. Okay. All right. But it doesn't matter which muscle group is playing the role.
Mm.
What matters is the sensation that you feel.
Yeah, when I studied in conservatory, they talked about the intercostals. That's what they used to say, at least like
Yeah.
here. And I feel this is right here, right underneath where I think the diaphragm is.
Solar plexus. Yeah.
Yeah, right in the solar plexus. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If this feeling has a weight, does it feel uplifting? Does it feel heavy, or in some sense pressing down, or a burden, or lifting up?
It's weird. It's almost like hard to say. Certainly is not lifting up in the emotional way.
But this is sensations.
Yeah.
In
Definitely.
terms of weight, if you were to imagine it as a weight, is it like something weighing you down, or is it something like a helium balloon lifting you up?
Definitely weighing me down, which I think is
Okay.
kind of an idea. It's an idea about it. I don't feel like, I don't feel
Right.
that sensation. If someone said, yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh,
it
that's a
has a
down.
little weight to it, but it's not heavy.
Mm, I wouldn't even say, I would just say it's a downer, but it's a downer in the sense of that image of something bringing something down.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So in terms of weight, the way I'm asking it,
yeah,
doesn't, it, it doesn't apply.
not so much.
Okay. Now,
Not
what
so
about
much.
temperature? Is this
Uh,
sensation hot, warm, neutral, cool, cold?
hmm, probably warm, probably warm,
Warm, okay. You
and
say
not warm enough,
probably. Are you feeling it now?
not intensely.
Okay,
I mean, for example, when I'm embarrassed, uh, when I'm because ashamed
yeah,
somehow, you know, um, and I was recalling the other day a story when I was infatuated with a girl back in the '90s when I was working in New York, and I went on a lunch date, and I was so shocked. I could not control it at the moment, but I was so shocked at how it happened to me a couple of times, but how nervous. Okay, but temperature wise, I was just sweating bullets,
uh,
and it took me by surprise because probably if since I had been infatuated with girls since I was in high school, I probably would have known how to, bring a Kleenex along or something, or
yeah,
and I remember that, and the girl who was so nice, I was with, she was like, "Are you feeling okay?"
yeah,
I was just that's how it was. It was hot, but I mentioned it because when I'm embarrassed or ashamed in some kind of social way, which doesn't happen often, but when I am, it's very hot. It's like a very hot
okay,
one,
okay.
and it's similar. It's similar to that, but just the smallest hint.
Hey, okay, so
So
warm,
that's what I'm trying to say.
right,
Warm, but just
warm,
the hint.
verging on hot.
I would say warm, verging on neutral. Just like there's
Oh,
neutral, and then I know it's going in the warm direction,
got it,
but
got it,
it's not warm. What I felt
got
now.
it,
Yeah.
got it.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. Um, Now, movement, you've described some movement that was going like this, whether it was sensations way down or closer to your diaphragm or higher up. They were all sort of going like this
Mhm.
within the sensation itself.
Within the thoracic, as it were,
Yeah,
sensation. In my
yeah,
limbs, not so much.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But within your body,
Yeah.
it's
Totally.
generally outside, down, curving to up in the central core.
No, I would say just from down going up.
Oh,
Not this, but rather just whoop.
oh, okay.
Yeah, from like lower ribs and gut to go whoop,
Got
whoop,
it.
like
Got
that.
it. Okay. Okay.
So that's pretty. I'm pretty sure of. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Anytime there's motion, is the motion that there's characteristics of the motion? Is the motion uniform and consistent? In other words, is it the same across the whole area that the sensation happens? And is it the same over time?
I would say yes, yes.
Yes and yes. Okay. So it's constant motion,
It's consistent.
consistent. Okay.
Well, yeah, yeah. Until I turn off that idea or turn away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, all right. So it doesn't have color. It's very slightly warm or warmish.
Mhm.
It's got generally an upwards movement. Um, and it
And
makes,
it's quick movement. It's like a jab. It's just whoop.
oh, it's very quick.
Oh yeah, it's not. It's not. Oh no, it's just. It's like a fright thing. It's
Oh,
just. Yeah.
okay, okay. So now that quick movement, does it move a little bit and then stop? Or is there some, like it's constantly going?
Yeah. Well, you know, in the great old cartoons where the red would go, you know, it's right.
Yeah,
It's not like that. It's more in this chest thoracic
yeah.
area like that, and just like this. You know.
But so it goes and then stops.
Yeah, although I might still be nervous, I might still feel the tingling. I might.
Right.
It doesn't go further. It doesn't go out the
So
top of my head.
does it do it only once, or does it go at once and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
again and then
No,
again?
no, I certainly don't have that sensation or that either that
Okay,
specificity. No, it's just a
so
general one.
this is like that whatever happens once, like a startle response.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Perfect word.
Okay, it's like,
Yes, perfect word. Without it getting to my throat. Yeah, but yeah, getting up, yeah,
okay, okay,
up to the lungs, up to the top of the lungs. Yeah.
all right. Okay, well, let's play with it. Now, the spirit I want you to do this is like, just like you'd gotten a totally weird instrument
Mm,
or an electronic gizmo
mm,
that you'd never seen before,
mhm,
and you're just tweaking it and playing with it to find out what it does,
mhm,
just because you don't know
mhm,
and you're curious.
mhm,
So let's play with this.
mhm.
Um, the motion has kind of caught my attention. Can you make that motion travel farther? Just, 20% farther. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Can you do it?
Um, I will try to do that. I this is I'm such a douchebag. I've been doing this my whole life. Um,
We have
because
no idea whether you can do this or not until you try it.
well, yeah, no, okay. I'm just going to say this because I'm trying to be honest, and I think I want to make some changes. I want to think I'm open to changes, and I always do the same thing, and that is to sort of push back and be a douchebag. But I want to get that out so that I don't just do that and then it screws things up. All right, so I'll say it.
Right.
What
Okay.
I think is that I'm going to start to be very intellectual about it because
Yeah.
I get the idea about expanding it. So now I'm going to kick in my intellect with trying to make it more. And something goes
This is,
off. It's sort of like, now you're being intellectual. It's not natural.
yeah. Yeah. This isn't an intellectual exercise.
I know, but I'm going to use my intellect into the exercise. That's what I'm saying. That's like,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I feel like, am I being hypocritical with this, or
All that matters is that you play with the sensations.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
That's all we're doing. We're just playing.
But
And we
I,
have
I just
no
don't.
idea.
I've been working with Carl's car salesman all for the last 3 weeks, so I just want to be so straight, because I just got off of a guy like Tim. I really think this car is the right one. I'm like, no, I told you 16 times it's not. So I'm just going to be trying to be
Okay.
genuine.
Yeah. Okay. So can you do that? Can you make the motion go a little bit farther?
Up in my body, right towards my head,
Yeah, well, if
or
it's
the other way.
it's
Maybe.
something in your belly and it moves up, it doesn't move all the way up to the top of your chest. It just moves up a little ways. I'm
Yeah.
asking you for that motion.
Mhm.
Can you make it go a little bit higher,
Yeah,
a little bit farther, wherever it's happening?
all right. I gotta key into this again. I'm having a tough time doing it.
Okay, so that's very difficult.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, really difficult.
can you make it move a little bit less? Not quite as,
Sorry about these cars. I'm imagining
okay.
pushing down,
Well,
pushing down.
well,
and-
I'm not asking you to reverse the motion,
Oh,
just make it as it comes up, have it come up not quite as high as it did before.
yeah,
That's all.
okay, I'll try. I'll
And
try.
remember, Tim, what we're doing here is we're exploring. We're finding out what characteristics of this do you have easy control over?
Yeah.
What do you not have easy control over? And what it does. If you don't have easy control over it, you don't.
Mm,
No big deal. We'll move on and play
yeah,
with something else.
yeah. I don't think I do. I mean, I don't at the moment.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, what happens if you make the movement instead of going up like this,
Mm,
you make it just go sideways?
mhm. Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Ah,
Again, I have to use my imagination. I mean, I have to.
yeah, that's fine.
You say make it go sideways. That you know, no, I imagine it going sideways.
Right.
And
And
when I did that, I felt like I, I had an exhalation. Looks like a relaxed exhalation, and my interpretation of that is that it didn't reach my lungs the way it usually does, and so they kind of relaxed.
okay, okay,
Uh, But I have to say, I had a lot of engineering going on, you know.
that's
after-
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
How you get there really doesn't matter. It's
Mhm,
if you can do it, you can do it. Now,
mhm.
when you did that, you felt it, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so your body did the sensation to change it from floating up to going like sideways.
my mind body did it. my mind body, because I had an idea. I had an idea to have this image of going down like that instead of like allowing this to come up.
Okay. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You went
Yeah.
down.
Well, my mind was like, I had an image of not allowing that thing to come up, and the image of forcing it out this way.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I mean, it would be the
And
slow motion
yeah, yeah,
explanation of
and
what
that's
happened.
right. Now, the critical question, did you feel it doing that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And when you felt it doing that,
Mm.
how did the emotion change?
Well, it changed in, you know, what I think it was one time, but I think it did change, like in a relaxed way. It made me more relaxed because I I just sort of exhaled.
Right. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Okay. So we've tweaked one thing.
Hmm.
All right. Can you make the movement happen? This sort of occurs in lower, middle, and upper body,
Mm.
all of those, right? And the basic motion is like that,
Yeah,
right?
from my stomach. So, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Not
But
down south down there. Yeah.
but does it come from up here like this as well?
No, no,
Oh,
comes.
so everything comes from
Yeah,
the stomach.
it's sort of that feeling, and then my limbs are different, but this
Right.
feeling in my core is like from the top of my stomach up, like this drip.
Okay. 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 Um, can you make the feeling start from the middle of your belly instead of the top of your stomach?
Hard to do. That's what my daughter says all the time. Hard to do. Um, I mean, that's a real image thing. I mean, I'm really imagining the bottom of my
Right.
belly,
But
and
how you get there, Tim, imagination, because I'm asking you to do something that's starts out as visual. And
yeah.
if you can do it and feel it, wonderful. If you
Mhm.
can't, okay, that's something more
Okay.
that we learned.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard getting it down to my belly. Hard.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's difficult. Did you succeed?
No, no.
Okay, okay. Um,
Because I was just like stuck on
right,
image, and the feeling didn't take root.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is warm verging on hot, right?
No, it was
Or
neutral verging on
neutral
warm.
verging on warm.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hmm.
I'd like you to make it cool.
Okay. Hard.
Keep at it.
I don't think I can do it.
Okay. So the choices that you're describing that are available to you in terms of temperature are neutral verging on hot. and you can't change it.
Neutral verging on warm.
On warm, yeah, and you can't change it.
I haven't been able to.
Okay, all right. What happens if you make it a little bit warmer?
It feels connected to the nerves thing. Thing.
Say more.
So I can try to make myself more nervous, and maybe it gets warmer. I'll tell you, I had sort of like, I'm not sure I got the effect.
Ah,
The idea was like I had an image of this like swirling, revolving swirl,
yeah,
very fast, furious, like swirl.
okay. And what happened? What did you feel? What did you notice?
One thing I can say, it didn't feel very much, honestly. But when I allowed that imagery to go, almost like a daydreaming,
Yeah,
it's the image of it is like an internal image feeling is of a rising, rising, swirling, like expanding, rising, swirling.
all
But
right.
I didn't. My body didn't get warmer, or I didn't feel more heat.
All that matters is that you were able to do something.
Mhm.
Um, so what was the name we chose for this emotion again?
Um,
Frustration?
no, it was yeah, despair.
Despair, that's right.
Yeah.
Despair.
Like a minor despair.
Okay.
Mhm.
Go inside your mind
Mhm.
and ask yourself, what does this sense of despair want you to change? And I mean, like in terms of the brightness or the movement or whatever.
What does this despair want me to change? You said.
Yeah, yeah. What aspect of it? Like it'll have location, color, weight, temperature, boundaries, movement, all of that stuff. What needs to change to make it drop to zero?
Okay, so what appears to me is well, an attractive image of just this distancing myself and cooling down
Okay, okay.
and stepping really far away
All right.
in a way that's so outside my body, but not disconcerting in that way.
Okay. Well, let's play with that idea.
Before we do play with that idea, I'll just tell you something
Sure.
simple, and that I finally started to watch on Netflix Michael Pollan's "How Do You Change Your Mind." You know that?
No.
You know the writer Michael Pollan?
Say that again.
Michael Pollan is, and
Okay.
he's named Pollan, and he writes about biology and um, plants and he's a great writer. He's great and interesting, super interesting writer. I read some books by him a long time ago, and so this is on mind-altering drugs.
Okay.
This documentary. I haven't taken any in my life, but because of new research findings and a change in attitudes and more people, serious people writing about it, it has occurred to me. It's not something I would do imminently, if ever I do it. But I'm much more interested in now in research on these strong mind-altering substances which are used in therapy.
Yeah.
Because they're using them for all kinds of therapy now, including LSD. And so in the last days, after having a pretty stressful week last week, I've been thinking about that, and almost like a hope, like that too might be some kind of interesting, that could be some hopeful,
Yeah.
therapeutic modality, perhaps, for me. Nothing I would rush into. I've avoided it my whole life out of fear that it might not be good for me.
Right.
But I'm more interested. I'm just saying, I'm more interested in it now. So this, one of the things I've thought about is that if I ever did that, I would want to be in a very controlled space, administered in a very, as they do nowadays, which is interesting.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Hospitals would do this and stuff. It would be sort of like a place like that. But anyway, I'm mentioning that to you because that's been in my mind too. This idea of like getting perspective, like drawing way out, but without, not because I want to go on some like fantastic aesthetic trip, but just like coming way out of my habitual self and getting perspective in a kind of cool and calm way. And this job that I have at the bar, which I'm now telling my friends, like, I really don't like it. I really don't like it. I like that it's giving me some a little bit of money, but it's just, yeah, it just,
Okay.
it sucks in a lot of ways. So, but it has given me, it has put a fine point on this experience of mine, which is to be overwhelmed and give me ample opportunity.
Now,
So this is more interesting for me now. So when I say remove myself, it's in a context of feeling like, man, I really wish I could get a kind of cooler perspective. Okay. Yeah. So sorry, that took a long time.
Take the sensation, the one we've been calling despair.
Yeah.
And move it 10 feet away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how does that change your experience? Mentally go through what led up to that feeling. As soon as you become aware of the feeling, move it 10 feet away.
It's interesting because that I can do pretty quickly in a way, and effectively. What I don't have, which I wish I sort of had, was that sort of sort of wintergreen, fresh coolness
Ah,
in that 10 feet away. I don't quite feel that, but I can
oh,
move it there.
okay, okay.
Like with,
So, you know, those air freshener things,
yeah,
the wintergreen, you go pss, pss, and it smells like wintergreen for a while.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, take a non-toxic version of that and just
Mm,
in your imagination, spray it in the air. So
yeah.
that the thing, when you move it 10 feet away, it passes through that
Yeah.
there.
On an aside, I know you work with all kinds of people, but I was reminded of a friend of mine from years and years ago who had very big imagination, and we used to make jokes and stories and enjoy each other's kind of big imaginations. And I'm just reminded of her now because what I would say in a patronizing way, I know it's patronizing, but I'm not really that serious in a sense, but almost like when you deal with someone like me, it's like you shouldn't even say air freshener, or I shouldn't have said wintergreen, because now I'm like, my imagination is full of like air fresheners going this way and wintergreens and the search thing opening up. It's kind of like I'm
Yeah.
like hyper imaginative.
Okay.
And I
And
wonder actually in some therapies whether it's
yeah,
easier for other people just because they don't have all that crap in their heads.
well, and does that, all of those air fresheners bring that sense of coolness in?
No, no, that's what I'm saying. It
Okay.
kind of complicates things, and
Okay.
um,
Well, what happens if you use, what do you need? Do you need
just
ice
cool,
cubes?
just cool air,
Cool air. Okay.
cool
Well,
air. Yeah, yeah,
make the air cool.
yeah. That, yeah, that I can kind of almost feel, almost project.
All
You know,
right. All right. And when you do that, when you project that sensation, when you take it the instant you feel it, you move it through that cool air 10 feet away. What's that like? What's your experience?
no, man, it's calming. It's a little calming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of feeling despair, you feel calm.
Yeah, and it's also that despair, as we said. I don't have the perfect word for that, but it's a fear despair. So
Yeah.
there's less fear, less
Uh-huh.
despair.
Right. So there's less fear and less despair, or no fear and no despair?
Less, I would say less.
Less.
Yeah,
Okay. If it was 0 to 10, what was it when you first, what was it when you had the envelopes in your hand and were
yeah.
fiddling with them?
Well, it's not like someone just entered your house with a gun.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
It's more like 3, 4.
Okay. Cool.
And then I would push it down to like 0.5,
Oh, okay. By
0.5,
putting it out of
1.
your body. All right.
Putting it out, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Send it off to the South Pole.
Hmm.
It's real cool down there,
Well,
even on a hot day.
used to be, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Uh, I mean, people say chill out, right?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
as an order, you know, as a directive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting a little scattered. I'm not able to really
Ah,
focus on the that image of the fear too much.
okay. And I don't want you to focus on the image of the sphere of the fear.
Yeah.
I want you to be experiencing the fear.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. I just, yeah. In order to cook that up, though, I've got to like think about it. I got to imagine it again. You know,
Yeah.
I'm growing tired. I'm growing weary.
You remember what we did with your overwhelm?
Yeah.
By the way, how did that work? When you went into work?
Yeah. I worked on it, the idea, like several times before the work.
Yeah.
Uh, I even did it, I think, walking into work. When something went down, though, I gotta say, I was like, the idea came to me, and it was just like, like no, like it just, I could not get a grip on that at all. I was like in the throes of like whatever was going
Okay.
down.
Okay. So you know what that means? It means practice more so that when it happens for real and you're involved, you can still do it.
Mhm.
Shrink it to the size of a drop of water and send it to
Mm.
where did we
Oh,
send it
okay.
to?
Well, we were talking about like reversing the direction of the rotation of,
Oh, right.
yeah,
Let's make it go
yeah,
this way.
from clockwise rather than counterclockwise.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
So practice it more.
yeah,
Practice it enough. And as you practice it, do the best job you can at making the emotion real. So absolutely real that you know this is it. This is as you're practicing.
oh yeah.
And then change the direction.
Hmm.
And there's a reason for that. And the reason is that when this thing starts up, you become resourceless.
Hmm.
You kind of freeze.
Hmm.
And the more real you can make your experience in practice, the more powerful the sensations are going to be when you reverse the direction.
Hmm.
And what you want is to be so comfortable, so familiar with that switch of direction that you can do it no matter how confused or overwhelmed you are. You just do it.
No. Yeah.
Make sense?
Oh yeah.
Okay, okay. I gotta close out now. We're out of time.
Okay.
And good luck with your envelopes.
Yeah,
Seriously, practice the
yeah,
work overwhelm thing.
yeah. I actually think on the level of the envelopes might be a good starter.
Yeah,
If I can say better than or more
yeah.
effective to begin with. Yeah.
Imagine them drifting around your head in a clockwise fashion.
Hmm. Yeah.
Why not? Play with it. This is this is stuff at the kind of idiosyncratic level we're playing here.
Yeah.
We have no idea what your mind is doing or why or what you're capable of. We're exploring.
Yeah.
And step by step, we find things. Oh, Tim's mind can do that.
Hmm.
Let's use it.
Hmm.
And once you've achieved that, that opens the door for your mind to be able to do a couple more things.
Hmm.
What are they? No idea,
Hmm.
but we'll play and find them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim. Take care.
Thanks, Bruce. Thanks, Bruce.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye now.